Hello, this is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So happy to be joined by my friend and colleague, Jason McGraw, who is Group Vice President with Commercial Integrator Expo and CEDIA Expo, my colleague here at Emerald, to talk about the exciting co-located show taking place this coming September in Denver. Thank you so much, Jason, for being here. It's always great to chat with you.
Thanks, Dan. It's my pleasure. I like to chat about the show. We've got some exciting plans for the events coming up.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. I have to say it's going to be the highlight of my fall because there's just so much synergy unlocked when you bring together the CEDIA Expo world, the Commercial Integrator Expo world, custom home and resi, and commercial. You want to talk about the raison d'etre of this co-located show, what the power of CEDIA Expo, the power of CIX coming together brings to this industry?
Sure thing. Last year when we launched the event co-located with CEDIA Expo, we're trying to address a trend that's been going on in the industry for the last several years, and certainly was accelerated with the pandemic. Certainly the hybrid office, the work from home trend, where commercial and enterprise grade communications technologies were finding their way into the residents, and we were all working and living in different remote places. That spearheaded that growth in that part of the business. But more importantly, system integrators on the residential side for years have been doing light commercial projects, and in fact, nearly half of CEDIA Expo attendees do some commercial work. And many of the brands that were exhibiting at the show for years, Crestron, Sony, Legrand, others, were also showing commercial products in their exhibits over the last few years. So, hearing that feedback and seeing the trends that were going on, we said, hey, we need to elevate the discussion about commercial, and the idea of having a new event that could speak to this kind of crossover synergy that was happening in the marketplace, that is happening in the marketplace, was the impetus for launching Commercial Integrator Expo. We've chosen to really focus on those crossroads. We use the term resimercial, but when you think about corporate and higher education, hospitality, retail, digital signage applications, for these fixed install spaces where there is synergy between the residential side, the commercial side, and certainly lighting, low voltage architectural lighting, shades, etc., is growing in both sides of the both channels, both sides of the industry very rapidly. And we're certainly addressing that at both CEDIA Expo and Commercial Integrator Expo this year. So we were excited with the launch last year. We had tremendous reception from the new exhibitors that we brought in. In fact, nearly all of them re-signed for this year, and we've signed up even more. So it's definitely added a new dynamic component to the joint show floor that we have for CEDIA Expo and Commercial Integrator Expo at the show. And I think it provides a greater value and opportunity to get exposed to brands that maybe the residential integrators weren't seeing before at CEDIA Expo. At the same token, we know that not every commercial integrator can make it out to all the other industry events that are going on. And, timing wise, location being in Denver, etc., it's a good opportunity to come to Denver to the shows and see brands, to take sessions, to network, where you're not getting exposed necessarily to all those brands at these other events and learning opportunities. So we think we have a dynamic offering this year. It's definitely a bigger event than last year, with a lot of new exhibitors and new activity. So we're really jazzed about it, and it's coming up here in a couple short months. But we're really thrilled to be back with our second year of Commercial Integrator Expo.
Couldn't agree more with everything you said, Jason, especially the timing aspect. I think this is going to be a real locus of industry activity that's going to supercharge us into Q4 planning for 2025. And also the fact that it really is so much focused on integrators' core bread and butter markets, whether it's corporate, whether it's education, whether it's hospitality, whether it's resimercial. You may not see a lot of, Broadway staging kind of stuff, but that's probably not in a lot of integrators' wheelhouses. What they're really focused on are those core, again, hospitality, commercial, education, resimercial. And that's really our strike zone, isn't it, for CEDIA Expo and Commercial Integrator Expo?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, 30 plus years of CEDIA Expo and roots in the home theater industry, and still, it's a major piece of the residential technology solutions on the CEDIA Expo side, audio, video, display, control. And those go across both channels, right? But now we're seeing, increase in lighting, as I mentioned, security, uh, digital signage, micro LED displays. I mean, we've got a number of new LED manufacturers exhibiting with us this year at the show. So when you look at where these technologies overlap in these market settings, we're choosing to focus, but to expand where it makes sense. We're not trying to go after stadium technology. This is not we're not focusing on live events. We're focusing on the fixed install market, where there already are connections and crossover, where resi integrators are doing commercial projects. Also when we talk about smart buildings and multi-dwelling units and, the mixed use residential, commercial, retail spaces, it's becoming more and more of a convergence of the channels between these spaces. And that's really where we're choosing to talk about in our content programs at the show. And definitely the exhibitors and the mix of exhibitors at the show, reflect this representation of the convergence of the two marketplaces.
You mentioned the content program, and I think that's something I'd really like to focus on. I'm especially excited about having IMCCA back once again as a content partner. They're going to be talking a lot about collaboration and the future of work and the future of how we all kind of navigate the post-pandemic landscape, whether it's going back to offices, whether it's enticing people to, be in those meeting rooms as opposed to just remoting in. You want to talk a little bit about what the IMCCA is going to be doing when it comes to unified communications and collaboration, as well as other content partners we have?
Certainly, we've been working with IMCCA for several years now. They've definitely been bringing kind of the state of the industry, the state of play, the unified communications and collaboration technology space. And as we know, that I sound like a broken record here, it crosses over all those segments that we've talked about, whether it's, commercial, government, higher education, retail. All corporations are using this technology to connect. And, there's a much more diverse and remote workforce that are communicating from a variety of locations, beyond the boardroom, beyond the classroom. And of course, there's the influence of artificial intelligence now in many sectors, and certainly in the UC space. We're very proud to work with IMCCA and have their members and subject matter experts come and speak at the program. They've got a track of 10 sessions in the CIX conference this year. They're also doing an industry panel on our smart stage on the show floor. They definitely have a group of subject matter experts from across the industry, analysts, manufacturers, integrators that have real world experience in today's latest applications and deployments. And I think that'll be very beneficial for our integrator attendees and technology managers that would attend Commercial Integrator Expo. So this year we've really honed in on, trying to get very relevant content that is reflective of what's happening today. But as I've said many times in the past, people want to know what's next, what's in the future. And I think IMCCA does a really great job. David Danto as well, organizing the panels of giving us a look at what's next and really kind of curating those trends. And so I think this program is going to be very valuable for attendees this year. And we're excited to have them come back and join us and support this programming, which we think is important. It's definitely going across many different verticals, and we think it's important to talk about at the show.
Well, you had referenced how many people David and his team at IMCCA are bringing in. I was taking a look at some of the speakers that are part of that IMCCA track, whether it's Chris Netto or Lainey Materis or Michelle Lauret or Kevin Keel or David Maldo. I mean, so many incredible, knowledgeable people, all of whom are going to be presenting as part of that track. I'm really excited about it. And I have to say, I'm also especially excited on a personal note that I'm going to be presenting that session about physical security opportunities for AV integrators. I presented a very similar panel at another show recently recently, got fantastic feedback about it, and I couldn't be more excited to be bringing something even more impactful, even better here to CIX in September.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. You know, we're very fortunate to have industry luminaries that you know, excellent subject matter experts to come forward and contribute their time to share their knowledge. I think it's a huge benefit for attendees at the show. I mean, obviously, for many years, CEDIA, the association, also puts on a very robust conference in conjunction with CEDIA Expo, which they have an all new program again this year, and I don't want to skip out mentioning that because it's part of the whole value of coming to the two shows together. Is that there's a tremendous amount of educational and content offerings through the Commercial Integrator Conference with over 24 sessions, and the CEDIA Expo program that has close to 100 sessions that run the Wednesday, the day before the show, and through the weekend. So, you know, that coupled with our programming on the Smart Stage, and we're very pleased, Dan, I'm going to give you a plug, working with you and our colleague Arlen on CE Pro to organize a number of industry trend panels on the Smart Stage that's open to all attendees for both shows. It's positioned on the show floor. It's been a hallmark of the show for many years. And it's our way of being able to kind of showcase like the top line of what's new, what's trending, and what's fresh, and the topics that are hot topics today. You know, you touched on security. We've talked about lighting. We've talked about AI. There's certainly business trends, and you know, managing contracts and recurring revenue streams. There's certainly a lot going on with connectivity, and you know, so there's a lot to talk about at the show, and I think that's part of the value. I mean, clearly, many attendees come to the show. They want to meet with the exhibitors and see the latest products from the leading brands, and we have over 300 exhibitors on the show floor this year, and you know, all the top brands are there on the show floor with their latest products. But you know, that's one piece of it. The other part is really what we've been talking about, which is the education. You know, what's relevant to an attendee's business, but also professionally for their own personal development and keeping abreast of what's going on and how they can use that knowledge to improve their business skills and advance in their careers. And then the third part really is the networking events that you know, seeing your old colleagues and old friends, you know, it's like homecoming week for the industry. At the same time, you know, there's a serendipity of meeting new colleagues and peers and people that you might do business with or can collaborate with or share ideas and information, fellow attendees in the sessions and at reception. So that's to me another equally vital component to the show.
All of those components taken together are going to deliver an incredibly impactful show for us this September. Thank you so much, Jason, for joining me. I really appreciate you giving us some insights into why everyone is talking about CEDIA Expo. Everyone is talking about CIX 2024. I can't wait to be there, and I can't wait to continue rolling out more exciting announcements and session titles and panelists related to the show, because I think this is going to be, as you say, we had a fantastic co-located start last year. I think this year is going to be even more impactful, even more exciting, and it's really going to set the trend and set the tone for not only Q4, but to launch into 2025 and have the best year we possibly can.
Well, absolutely, Dan. I appreciate this opportunity. I encourage everyone to visit the websites at CEDIAExpo.com and expo.commercialintegrator.com to find out the latest schedules and information and to register. So we'll look forward to seeing everyone in Denver in September.
We will be there. Thank you so much, Jason, once again.
Take care.